Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oscar Galindo. I'm back with another episode of the Official Visit. This week, I'm doing something a little bit different. Something kind of close to what I did with the all state preview back in December. But this time, I wanted to do focus on the 2024 class. Last week we released our 2024 rankings, and with that, I wanted to highlight some of the top players in that class by position. So I decided to do a all-2024 team with an offense and defense and specialists and all that. Um, and, and I thought it might be easier to do just a quick review of the players I picked, why I picked them, and then kind of just players that have offers, kind of go down their list of offers and all that kind of stuff. Real quick, before we get started, I did want to talk a little bit about it. One thing I did do is it's there's gonna be more than just 11 players per side. I did 2 running backs, 2 or 3 receivers, 2 tight ends. The offensive line, 2 athletes, and then defense. I wanted to do true top 2, I guess, in at true positions. So at defensive ends, at defensive tackle, outside linebackers, inside linebackers, top safety, and then corners. Um, uh, yeah, just to kind of mix it up a little bit and show the players that are you know like on the offensive line. I did 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a center. On our rankings, if you look, there's going to be players that aren't mentioned here today, but they are ranked highly, and that's just because on the offensive line, some of the top prospects are tackles. So we only do 2, and I wanted to do this just to make sure we spread the exposure there a little bit, have a true offensive line, I guess. Um, Instead of having like some all-state teams that will be comprised of 5 tackles, the top 5 tackles in the state, and just call it a day. So I just wanted to actually go a little bit deeper and get some guards, get some center exposure. Trying to think what else. Yeah, there will be articles released, just kind of with more information, have their huddle tapes, Twitter, stats, all that kind of stuff on there. And that will be on Prep Redzone Nebraska, prepredzone.com, and you select Nebraska as your state. If you are a new subscriber, you could use code OscarGalindo30, get 30% off on your first month's billing cycle. So if you get your first billing cycle, and then another thing I wanted to cover real quick was the Prep Red Zone Prospect Tour will be in Council Bluffs, April 16th. Registration is still open for that. It's a great camp to go to, get some good exposure out there. Coaches are the ones that are running the drills from college. College coaches are the ones running the drills, so that they're going to be, that you're going to get evaluated and you're being watched and, coached up by actual college coaches. So that's a good experience. And then there's a lot of great talent from both Nebraska and Iowa to compete against. A lot of great competition. A lot of players from last year's prospect tour and the Stock Up Showcase. They end up picking up some offers, or at least attention from schools. So I highly recommend it. Players I've talked to that have gone in the past, they highly recommend it as well. The thing I like about the date of it this time is that it's kind of before the real madness of the recruiting cycle kind of starts in May and the summer. So it's right in the middle of April. So it's I feel like a good little momentum boost to get you going as we get into that crazy time for recruiting. So, and then if you use the code Galindo PT 2023, that's GALINDO PT at 20, that's GALINDO PT 2023. If you use that code, you'll get $10 off at the registration. So, nice little discount for you there. Kind of get a little bit taken off there. But yeah, it's a great time. We'll be out there, getting content in and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, like I said, coaches are there, college coaches are there, real college coaches. So it's a good opportunity. And I think that's all I have for the intro. I hope you guys enjoy the team, the all-state team. Let me know who I missed. Let me know who you would have added, respectfully, of course. And then, keep an eye out for that article. Follow us on Twitter at Prep Redzone Nebraska or Prep Redzone NE. Follow us on Instagram at Prep Redzone NE. Follow myself on Twitter, Galindo Osk at Galindo Osk 12. And then on Instagram at PRZ _ Oscar G. And yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned in. We'll be back with our regular interviews and player highlights and all that kind of stuff next week. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Episode today, I just wanted to talk to you real quick about my friend Patrick Spicer over at Hybrid Human Performances. Hybrid Human Performances is a state-of-the-art training facility located in Lincoln, Nebraska, with reputable coaches that can take you to the next level. Each training session is designed to and for the athlete to be successful in their sport. Notable Hybrid Human Performance alumni include cornerback for the Chicago Bears, Lamar Jackson, Seahawks safety Deontay Williams, Nebraska Cornhuskers quarterback Casey Thompson, and Lincoln native Noah Walters, quarterback for the North Alabama Lions. If you want to take your game to the next level, contact Patrick with Hybrid Human Performance at 307-321-8365 or shoot him an email at Patrick, Patrick, at hybrid-hp.com. Enjoy the episode. All right, first up, we got quarterback. We got Daniel Kaelin from Bellevue West. Recently just committed to Mizzou. Top quarterback in the class. Had an outstanding junior season. Threw for 3,186 yards, 36 touchdowns. Led one of the top offenses in the state. One of, if not the top offensive in the state. Just incredible talent. I'm excited to see what him and that big three at Bellevue West is gonna do. At running back, we have Sebastien Boyle. He's just been a running back that's been consistent. Just very complete, well-rounded back. He's got power, size. He could absorb contact. Bounce off tackles, all that kind of stuff. He rushed for like 1,700 rushing yards his sophomore year. 1,926 this last season. 26 rushing touchdowns. If we're looking at averages, he has a solid shot at ending his prep career as maybe possibly the Class B rushing leader. For running back number 2, it was a bit of a toss-up. Eventually, I went with Payton Prestito from Papillion-La Vista. He's just been consistently getting better. Just powerful back with good speed, good vision. He could cut. He's a great athlete. Very very good on the defensive side too. One of their key players on the defensive end. For wide receiver, I'm doing 3 wide receivers. 2 of them are no-brainers. It's Dae'Vonn and Isaiah McMorris from Bellevue West. Just two of two of the most dominant receivers in the state right now. Just insane production, insane, just headaches for defenses. That's all. That's all they do, man. Just create mismatches. They could, find open space. They could break free with their speed. They're good athletes. They could go up and just hanging up on anybody's head, all that kind of stuff. So Dae'Vonn, he hauled in 62 receptions for 972 yards and had 11 touchdowns. Just continue to show why he's such a highly touted prospect. With just great talent, route running, especially his route running. Just an elite player. Dae'Vonn holds offers from Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Penn State, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kansas, Mizzou, Kansas State, Nebraska, and Iowa. Isaiah McMorris as well, first year in the Bellevue West offense, just completely dominated. 90 catches, which I believe was the state record. 1,297 receiving yards, which was, close to, I believe, the Class A record. 15 touchdowns, 117 yards per game. Just dominant players. Dae'Vonn, Isaiah McMorris, has offers from Tulane, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Nebraska, Kansas, Penn State, Kansas State, Missouri, and Iowa. Both those players, they're players that by the summer I feel like, we're gonna see a lot more on this already, pretty good list for them. So our third receiver, a player that I feel is somewhat overlooked despite how great he's been. Jackson Williams from Millard West. He just a speed demon on the field. He can just break a defense. Take the top off a defense, spread. Stretch them vertically, all that kind of stuff. Just crazy athlete. Good, very good after the catch. 28 receptions, 711 receiving yards, and 11 total touchdowns. That's including I don't know. I don't have the exact number for how many receiving yards or how many receiving touchdowns. But another thing that makes him so dangerous is his involvement in the return game. He had 22 returns for 657 yards. Just insane production. Very underrated, very low key player that somehow is still sliding under the radar. But expect a big summer from him for sure. All right, now at tight end, we got Joseph Stein from Grand Island Northwest. Just a big dude, 6'6", 225 pounds. Great blocker. He showed his receiving skills. He has great range, very good length. Great length. But what makes him, stand out as well is just how good he is as a blocker as well. He's a tough guy. Doesn't mind getting, digging his face mask in a defender's jersey and just driving him into the dirt. Caught 21 receptions for 227 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns last year. He started blowing up here recently in the past month and a half ish. Has offers from Nebraska, Kearney, UNK, Northern Iowa, Western Illinois, South Dakota State, Chadron State, Peru State, and Wayne State. Our second tight end we have is Eric Ingwerson from Papillion-La Vista. Just recently today, as I'm recording this, committed to Pittsburgh. Committed to Pitt. They're getting a huge target in for their offense. 6'7", I believe 230, might be 240. I'm not exactly sure what it was last time I checked. But yeah, just a big dude. Great length. Long arms, good athlete. He plays above the rim, all that kind of stuff. Red zone, gonna be a monster in the red zone for sure. Yeah, another great blocking tight end as well. Just a mean dude when he locks in on his blocking. And then another thing that made him stand out as well was he's great on the defensive side too. 51 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, and pass defense. Using that length, that speed, or that athleticism and speed to win on the edge and get in the backfield, disrupt plays, blow up the run, pressure the quarterback, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I know that won't help him at Pitt, but just for next year, that's going to be something to watch. How he performs in the trenches. For offensive line, again, I did 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a center, just like a true offensive line. So I know there's a lot of very good offensive linemen out there, but I didn't want to put 4 tackles and then kind of neglect those interior players. So I'm gonna start with the tackles. Number 1, we have 3-star Caleb Pyfrom from Omaha Central. Really emerged this year as took over that right tackle spot. Just a beast, man. Just 6'6", 300 pounds. Very mobile, very athletic. Great hands, very tough. Just great power. Just mauls defenders at the line of scrimmage. Currently, he holds offers from Colorado, Illinois, Penn State, Wyoming, Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas, Kansas State, Mizzou, Kansas, and then Nebraska. Sorry, I said Kansas twice, but yeah, and then Nebraska. For my second tackle, I have Ashton Murphy out of Elkhorn South. Ashton is a player that really broke out this season. He's someone that could play on the offense or defensive line at the next level. Just a great athlete in general. On offense, shows great mobility. He's aggressive with his blocks. He gets up to the second level. He does all that kind of stuff on the defensive line. Uses his length very well. He can use his power very well. He could just make stops, clog up lanes, all that kind of stuff. From that interior defensive line. Currently, he holds offers from Iowa State, Navy Academy, Northern Illinois, North Dakota State, Air Force, Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado, and Northern Iowa. For guard, I have Jeffrey Kunzman. Sorry if I butchered that, Jeffrey, but yeah, Jeffrey from Bellevue West. He's a player that emerged on that retooled offensive line for the Thunderbirds, and really show he could see he's pretty versatile. He showed that he could switch from interior, from guard to tackle, and he really did very good in both spots. Great run blocker, aggressive, uses leverage very well. Very strong player. Yeah, just a player on the rise. He was a player that when I watched him at the Warren Academy showcase, his footwork really stood out to me as well. Just very quick, very agile player. Yeah, definitely want to watch. At my second guard spot, I have DeAndre Harper out of Omaha North. He's a player that showed a lot. He is a player that this season really gave us a lot to look forward to. DeAndre is a player that put together a great junior season for that Vikings offensive line. They had a lot of new players, and once they got moving, he was a big part of their success and all that kind of stuff. So one thing that you look at DeAndre and you just the measurables, man. He's 6'6", 290 pounds. He's quick on his feet. Just one of those, like they say, like a dancing bear. He could just tall, big, strong. But he moves pretty quickly. If he gets going on a pull play, he's gonna knock you on your back for sure. And then he's got just long arms who could hold those quick edge rushers, and maybe not edge rushers, just quick defensive linemen, all that kind of stuff at bay. He's a player that I think coaches really need to hop on the bandwagon ASAP, because he's gonna once the first domino falls, he's gonna get going. At center, I have Dallas Hamilton from Papillion-La Vista. Dallas, just been a player that has been impressive since for a while now. I think the first time I saw him was at Wayne State camp last summer. Really impressed this season at center. Just when another great player from that Papio pipeline they've been putting out a lot of really good linemen. Dallas is holding that mantle high. Physical, aggressive player that loves to just a worker. Just a grinder in the trenches. He likes to just in that from that center position, go up against some bigger guys, and he doesn't back down. Just a tough guy. Weight room, warrior, all that kind of stuff. So, just today he picked up his first offer from Nebraska Kearney. They're kind of getting the ball rolling on that one. And Dallas is another player I think, it's gonna once that ball gets rolling, it's gonna get going. So, definitely a player to watch on the offensive line. For my athletes, first athlete I got up is none other than Carter Nelson out of Ainsworth. Just a freak, man. Just a freak athlete. You can do it all, not just on the football field, but on track and field and basketball, everything, man. He did it all for the Bulldogs. Had 47 for 83 completions, so 57%. 663 passing yards, 15 passing touchdowns, 119 carries for 761 rushing yards, 14 rushing touchdowns, 28 receptions, 525 receiving yards, and 11 receiving touchdowns. On defense, he had 41 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 6 interceptions. On special teams, he also punted. He had 18 punts for 713 yards for an average of 40. Just insane. An insane player. Does it all in the field. I have him on athlete as here, but he is ranked on our Prep Redzone as the number 1 tight end and as the number 1 2024 at the moment. Because I feel like more than likely that is where he's going to be playing. But just for now, production like that, you could throw him anywhere, and he's going to be insane. Offers just a huge list already. Tennessee, Miami, Georgia, Purdue, Texas A&M, Illinois, Texas, Ole Miss, Bama, Alabama, Louisville, Michigan State, Colorado, Wyoming, Michigan, Auburn, Notre Dame, Kentucky, Penn State, Oklahoma, Duke, Baylor, Vanderbilt, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Virginia Tech, Iowa, Kansas State, Nebraska, Kansas, and Iowa State. Just all over the country, and yeah, like you heard, those big ones, those national title, big dog Alabama and Georgia, your Michigan in there, those, yeah, a lot of offers, a lot of attention, Nat. For our second athlete, we have Harry Caskey out of Ogallala. Yeah, he's a player that you could really put anywhere on the field, and he's gonna produce for you. You know, was quarterback. Threw for 618 passing yards on 56% completion, but he also ran 160 carries for 797 rushing yards. 12 touchdowns, 14 receptions for 257 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, he had 48 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. Then he also averaged 33.5 yards per punt. So yeah, just a great overall player. Just can produce anywhere. I watched him at the Warren Academy Showcase back in January, and he was kind of like in that tight end. And yeah, he was just dominating. He has, the ability to catch outside of his frame. Has that nice, good catch radius. Yeah, just a great athlete. 6'4", 220 pounds. So he's got that next level size to him. Yeah, he already holds 2 offers from Air Force and South Dakota. So 2 D1 offers, FBS and an FCS one there for you. And that is the offense. The first defensive end is Sam Thomas out of Elkhorn North. He's a player, very versatile player. He can play both offense and defensive line. I believe he's being recruited for both. Right now I kind of like his game at defensive end. I like his aggressiveness, his physicality. He uses long arms very well. Gets great push at the line. Yeah, just smart player. Offensive line, he very good player as well. Just a talented overall prospect. Sam finished his season with 32 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 passes defended, and then 2 forced fumbles. Picked up his first offers from Northern Iowa and then another offer from Northern Illinois. My second defensive end is Millard South's J.R. Lekuuna. He's been a player that I've been very impressed with since his sophomore year, where he was kind of like a rotational player. I know they were really deep that last year, and this year he stepped into a big role. Really took over. Finished the season with 77 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Just a dominant presence on the, just a dominant presence on the defensive line. Quick off the ball. Uses his hands very well. Violent player, physical, aggressive, all that kind of stuff you like to see in your defensive lineman. Yeah, just great overall player. Defensive tackle, going to Oakland Craig for this one. I got JT Brands. One of the stronger players in the class. Just complete, just bulldozer at the line. Finished the season with 69 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Playing, that defensive tackle, nose tackle kind of position. Just eats up run lanes. Penetrates the line of scrimmage very well. Like I said, 12 tackles for loss and 6 sacks, so he knows how to get into the backfield, make plays, stop the run. He can, blow up, or he could, pressure the quarterback, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, one of those players that I'm shocked he hasn't received an offer yet. Uh, but yeah, once he does, man, it's gonna be uh team. A lot of teams I feel like are gonna open their eyes and realize how great of a player he is. For my second tackle or defensive tackle, I went with Omaha North Samarius Henderson. Samarius is, he's a big like run lane clogger. He can eat up space up in the middle. He's strong, powerful. He can, from what I've seen, it looks like he's reporting at 295. So, we could see an even faster, more agile Samarius next season. Finished the season with 26 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, and a pass defense. Just one of those players, one of those defensive tackles that even if the stat sheet doesn't look like it's anything crazy, but when you go and you watch the tape, you see the fact that he opens up a lot of opportunities for his teammates and stuff, so he can get in there and wreak havoc. So very underrated player. Linebacker. Again, we're doing four linebackers, two inside, two outside linebackers. First one I got is Dash Bowman from Lincoln East. Just tackling machine since his sophomore year. He just goes out there and see ball, get ball, or see ball, and fly to the ball, whatever you want to call it. He's been bulking up a lot. I remember when I first saw him last year, I think he was like in the one. I don't want to misspeak, but yeah, he's gotten bigger now. Now that he has that size to go along with his frame, he's got good speed, good athleticism, good mobility, sideline to sideline. Great overall talent. He picked up an offer from Air Force. Second inside linebacker is Bo Ryan out of Omaha West Side. He's a player that just makes play after play. Somewhat overlooked player on that stacked West Side team. Finished. He's going to be he's the top 10 returner in tackles with 93, 15 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and an interception returned for a touchdown. Like I said, 20 tackles behind the line of scrimmage, with the 15 TFLs and 5 sacks. Blitzes very well, has great timing, shoots his gaps like a cannon. He can make his way into the backfield, no problem. Great, just great, smart, instinctive player that will do great at the next level. For outside linebacker, first I got Teddy Rizek from Omaha West Side. He's a player, very versatile. Last year he was played defensive back. This year he moved to outside linebacker, kind of fill some needs there. And he excelled. He did very good. Has already had the coverage. Now if you have him in the box, he does a good job against the run. He's smart, just how that whole West Side defense is just smart. Good playmaker that can just seems to be at the right place at the right time, I guess. Also a threat on offense, 32 receptions, 414 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. He got his first offer last month from Northern Iowa, and it really started a domino effect from there with offers from Coastal Carolina, Dartmouth, Navy, Fordham, Colorado State, Air Force, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, and Northern Iowa. My second outside linebacker, I got Ben Holcomb out of Blair. Very overlooked player right now in this in this time of the recruitment process. But he's a player with a lot of very talented. Just a sound linebacker. He could do a lot of things that you ask from him. He could rush the edge. He could play the run, drop in coverage. He was a solid receiver for them as well on offense. Finished the season with 46 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, half a sack, and a pass defense. Yeah, he 6'2", 195. He's got really good. I watched him at our stock up showcase, and he's got good length to him. He's rangy. He's quick to or I guess he's loose with his hips, all that kind of stuff. He's a hard hitter when he gets to his target. Very somewhat very good player. First corner I'm going with is Donald DeFran Jr. From Lincoln. He was a player that really turned a lot of heads last season with an offer from Colorado. He's showing he showed us a lot of why they were so quick to jump on him. Great athlete, track speed, a great overall cornerback prospect. He could press, or he invites press coverage, or he embraces press. He loves to be physical, uses his hands very well, loose hips, great speed. Good with the he has good ball skills when the ball's in the air. Aside on top of the Colorado offer, he has also received one from Northern Iowa. Keep an eye out for him. 3-star prospect to watch. A second cornerback, Travis Hines, the second from Papillion-La Vista. He's a corner that really came into his own last season. As the season progressed, played wide receiver and then kind of really shifted his focus to defensive back. He was huge for the Monarchs. Another cornerback that loves to be physical, doesn't shy away from contact, doesn't shy away from press, doesn't shy away from doing the hand fighting, doing all that kind of stuff. Good speed, good agility, good change of direction. Lengthy player, good range, all that. Holds offers from Black Hills State and Augustana. For safety, my first safety I got is Caleb Benning from Omaha West Side. He was a player I was really excited to watch this season. Unfortunately, he did suffer an injury that kind of took him out for a good chunk of the season. But when he came back, man, he came back with a vengeance. He had 2 picks in the state championship game. I believe nearly 100 yards receiving. Really showed out. Was a huge contributor to their West Side's win in that game. Just an incredible athlete. Could play receiver as well. Just in that secondary, he's just so smart. Close space in a flash, change direction in a flash. Smart when the ball is up in the air. If you throw it near him, it's any ball seems to be kind of a 50-50 ball because he can just as easily he has those smarts to kind of lull a quarterback to sleep and then kind of bait him there a little bit. Some offers Caleb currently holds include Wyoming, Duke, Wisconsin, Kansas, Iowa State, Vanderbilt, Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Second safety, I got Donovan Jones from Omaha North. He's kind of a versatile safety. He could play free, strong safety, whichever one. Uh, great athlete. Finished the season with 46 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, and 7 passes defended. Uh, he's a player that I believe is on the rise. He he had limited time on the field as a sophomore, but then this season he really stepped up and really kind of showed us what what his game is all about. Yeah, he's a player that just impresses every time I watch him compete, whether it be in a game, whether it be at a showcase or a camp. Just a great competitor, great talent, just hungry player. So he wants to get out there, he wants to get better. When he's competing, when he's playing, he wants to come out on top. Just recently, Donovan picked up his first offer from Minnesota State, Mankato. So I feel like now that this first one's in, I feel like that's really good momentum for him going into the spring and the summer. For my specialist, I'm going to start off with my kicker. Do Gretna's Cameron Bothwell. He finished the season with 69 for 71 on extra points, 8 for 10 on field goals, and scored a total of 93 points. My punter is Angel Martinez from Crete. On 15 punts, he yielded 470 yards at an average of 31.3 yards per punt, and then he was able to down 2 of those inside the 20. Now for my returner, I got Gunnar Lim from Bennington. Gunnar was a player that was him and Donovan were my 2 considerations for that second safety spot. Very easily could have been Gunnar. Probably second team. Just because of all he's been able to do on the defense for the back-to-back state championship Bennington teams. Great overall player, great contributor to your team. Finished the season with 92 tackles, 14 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and a forced fumble. But then an element of his game that he really shined in this year and really stepped up was as a returner, which is what we have him nominated here for. He had 656 return yards and 3 touchdowns. Just sees the field very well, great vision, great instincts for lanes. The Badgers do a great job of, obviously, setting up their blocks and, getting all that kind of stuff set up for their returners on special teams. And then Gunnar, just the athlete that he is with his speed and, his vision, like I said, knows how to take advantage of that, knows how to find those holes. And, when he sees an opening, he's gone. So, dangerous returner, dangerous player just in general. That is my all class of 2024 team.